Hey, Pokemon Masters, Birdkeeper Toby here. You know, sometimes in the world of Pokemon, gym leaders are like the mayors of towns, right? And Nurse Joys and Officer Jennies are everywhere, acting as sort of clones of each other. Do you ever wonder who's running the place? You know, Pokemon Masters, before the words Pokemon Theory dominated the online YouTube space, there was another name for this kind of video, Pokemon Conspiracy. Pokemon Conspiracy Theory, it got shortened to Pokemon Theory, but Pokemon Conspiracy is where it started, and I suppose that's what today's video is about. It's all one big conspiracy, you see. I can't broadcast for too long because they might be listening. And I'm not crazy, you don't need to leave, it's fine, I'm good, I'm normal, I'm fine. I'm just saying that there might be shadowy puppet figures who are maybe controlling our every action and telling us what to do and where to go. They control how we act. Have you seen them? The Pokeball in the triangle. It's fine. You know what? I'm not even alone for today's Pokemon Conspiracy Theory, so it's not just me, other people believe it as well. I am here with Almighty Arceus, another Pokemon theorist or conspiracist.
Oh, Toby, I'm Almighty Arceus, not Lord Helix. Though the knowledge I have about the Pokemon universe is pretty vast.
So, in the world of Pokemon, it's always been a big question. Who is actually running the place? The best place to start is, well, what do we know about the government? There is a sort of NHS, a National Health Service in the form of Pokemon centers, free to use places where you can sleep and stay and eat food, and they of course look after your Pokemon, and they are operated by Nurse Joy. Every single one is operated by a Nurse Joy. That's not disconcerting at all. The whole economy, in fact, is set up for the training and manufacturing of Pokemon trainers, Pokemon Masters, in fact. They want you and your Pokemon to do well. Everything. I mean, maybe there's different shops for regular people, but the shops that you go into in the game, they don't sell food. No, they sell potions and Pokeballs and waters and escape routes, things for traveling.
If there were to be a Pokemon war, you would want as many Pokemon to fight on your side as possible. And that's what would happen in the past. In the past Pokemon wars, it's been humans and Pokemon fighting alongside each other. Now the Pokemon world is at peace. Or is it? In this post-war Pokemon world, the economies seem to be meshed between all of the regions that exist. There are certain companies that seem to have monopolized products around the world. Silphco, for example, has most of the Pokeball production for the entire world going on within its company, and it also produces other basic items that are sold at Pokemarts. All of these items are designed around the sole purpose of Pokemon battling, which suggests that since those are the big marts around town, that is the big thing that drives the Pokemon world in the future, obviously. But when you think about it, it's a little bit more linked to this performance, this sort of Pokemon battling aspect, rather than what we might be linked to now. Like, we're linked to media, we're linked to politics, we're linked to all these different things. The only real focus in the Pokemon world is Pokemon.
Speaking of Pokeballs, these seem to be manufactured mostly these days by Silphco. There are a few craftspeople, who like Kurt for example, who can use apricorns to make slightly different Pokeballs, but they work a tad different and they all have varied effects. But the regular Pokeball, the lore seems to suggest what it does is turn the Pokemon back into infinity energy, its regular kind of state. The mind of the Pokemon seems to believe that it's in a micro-environment best suited for it, while the energy itself actually just bounces around, mirrors reflective on the inside. It's all very pseudoscience, but that is what the lore seems to suggest. And this using infinity energy and technology should sound kind of familiar. The Devon Corporation in Hoenn and the C Marvel project both revolve around this. The Devon Corporation in Oras basically outright says that they use infinity energy in the products that they make. And C Marvel seems to have been created so that they could harvest the life force of Pokemon to create technologies. There's even a sign that says, don't bring your Pokemon into the workplace, and you can find a Spiritomb there, a Pokemon made up of 108 different souls. But interestingly, we don't see a lot of the technology that the Devon Corporation actually produces. We see their Pokenav, but we don't see anything else. It's possible that they work in conjunction with Silphco to help them produce Pokeballs. That would make a lot of sense given what we know. And it would also make sense given that there's not a lot of companies in the world of Pokemon that can even make Pokeballs. I mean, Silphco is one of them. The other one is the Aether Foundation, and they have a special kind of Pokeball that they're trying to make, the Beast Balls. And again, we begin to see connections between companies here, because both the Aether Foundation and Silphco have also dabbled in the world of creating Porygon.
Porygon was a Pokemon that was designed to develop in cyberspace. Porygon 2 was supposed to be used in deep space, but there was also supposed to be a Porygon 3 that existed, and we all know how that turned out. That ended up being Porygon Z from Generation 4, which was all corrupted and weird. But that Porygon 3 project was meant to explore alternate dimensions. There's also been alternate dimensional research at the Moss Deep Space Center, which we saw in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Interdimensional technology was then further developed not only by companies like the Aether Foundation, but also by people like Bill, who created the Pokemon PC system and storage system, which is essentially an alternate dimension. You also have alternate dimension research in Generation 5 with the Dream World. The Dream World was a space that was supposedly existing within Pokemon's dreams. It was an entire alternate dimension devoted to that. In addition to all that, you have the Devon Corporation in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, who are utilizing infinite energy to do things like regenerate fossil Pokemon and research how to get literal infinite energy into the Pokemon world. So with Devon, with Bill, with the Moss Deep Space Center, with the Aether Foundation, we have a very tight circle of really high-tech research going on across the Pokemon world. And it's shared research. It's research on this interdimensional aspect. Why are so many regions so concerned with interdimensional travel?
It does seem like the rich and powerful organizations and people in the world of Pokemon are gearing up for something with all this technology, but what? Well, the simple answer is war. But not like some petty war like the Kanto War. No, interdimensional war with the Ultra Beasts. The Ultra Beasts are creatures with incredible power and potential and usually are very destructive. Whenever they've shown up in the past, they have caused havoc, and in alternate dimensions, Guzzlord has even eaten a whole version of reality. So it is well in the best interests of everyone, rich and powerful and poor, to stay alive and defeat these things.
By the rich and powerful investing in technology and science to bring their utopic vision to life. A world that isn't obsessed with infighting, but instead focuses on Pokemon battles. Now, why does it focus on Pokemon battles? Well, they need to be prepared for those interdimensional threats. What's to say these people with influence didn't start smaller wars and conflicts on their own? That way, they could sell their products that control Pokemon, like Pokeballs and potions and all the stuff that a soldier would need to fight in these smaller conflicts and wars, in order to generate more profit for themselves. This would be like war profiteering in some of the more corrupt countries in the world today. And by the way, that's basically what you are in the Pokemon world as a Pokemon trainer. You are a soldier.
This is honestly the biggest Pokemon theory / conspiracy in scope, but the general idea is that all these companies, all their technologies, what they're all for, interdimensional travel, time travel, Pokeballs, infinity energy, all of it is to be ready for the Ultra Beasts.
Think about it. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there is an interdimensional monster in Ultra Necrozma that could straight up wipe out our sun.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want that to happen.
And instead of sending an army, an Elite Four, a gym leader, anything, they send you, a trainer, a 10-year-old. Why are you being sent to fight off an interdimensional beast? That's absurd. Well, it's because you've been set up to do that from the start. You have enough power to face off these crazy threats that come from other dimensions that have these legendary powers. You don't necessarily have enough power to take over the world, though there are some evil teams that try to do that, but you have enough power so that you can be utilized as a tactical strike. Basically some sort of sniper, some sort of Pokemon sniper. All kids are soldiers and Pokemon snipers in the Pokemon world. This is so dire, right? Ultimately, if all else fails, it's not like this ruling class in the Pokemon world couldn't just access the Pokemon PC or the Pokeball technology that stores trainers' Pokemon. But that would just be a conspiracy, right? Either way, there is interdimensional access that still poses a threat and allows for Ultra Beasts to come through and attack, perhaps even with other Pokemon from their dimensions. So there is that threat. It's just a matter of figuring out whether or not the Pokemon world is utilizing these trainers for good or for evil.
This is the story of a secret Pokemon war constructed by companies like Silph designed to get people to, never want to war again. This through means of mutually assured destruction. If every region is building teams of incredibly powerful Pokemon by encouraging the world of like Pokemon training to flourish, setting up Pokemon gyms and Pokemon leagues, suddenly every region has incredibly powerful trainers and nobody wants to go to war because there are trainers out there with like legendary Pokemon. No one wants to go to war in this day and age because it would simply be too destructive. Mutually assured destruction. Devon, Aether, fossil resurrection sites, and of course Silph.Co. They all run the place. So yes, the Illuminati, the Pokeball in the triangle, the Helix in the Pokeball, and the triangle in the Helix. No, stop. It may well be all real. This may be the true story of Pokemon, the backdrop to which all the games actually take place. And that is why a kid like you in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is ready and prepared to take on these creatures. These incredible threats, supposedly. You're able to stop all the evil teams because you are raised in a society where being a powerful trainer is valued above all else. The Illuminati is real, but maybe they actually have our best intentions at heart. At least in the world of Pokemon. But you're gonna have to let me know how you feel about this conspiracy theory in the comments, and hopefully this video doesn't get flagged down for being a whistleblow. And of course, this is only part 1 of 2 videos. There's a whole other video about the Pokemon government over on Almighty Arceus' channel, and then later on this week we got 2 more videos coming out about the Pokemon timeline.
I'm Almighty Arceus, and please check out the other theories that I did with Birdkeeper Toby on my channel.
I'm going over to Almighty Arceus' channel right now to check it out, and you should join me. So hi, Pokemon Masters. Using the links below, sign up to Patreon today to get merch, Pokemon cards, shoutouts. A special thank you goes to the patrons who made 3 videos a week possible, especially the Poke Myth of the Month. Jessica Mather, thank you so much for your support.